सर सर हम आप सीएम साहब सर, हाँ सर आपको हम सुन सकते हैं। सैम पिट्रोदा जी ने फोन किया है सर, वो थोड़ा लिंक में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो अभी कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं सर। आप थोड़ा सा एड्रेस करना चाहेंगे सर? हमारी पूरी टीम डे 1 की बैठी है सर, समृद्ध 2045 वाली, तो आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे सर? आप अपनी ब्लेसिंग्स देना चाहेंगे शुरू में, फिर हम ऑनलाइन सेशन शुरू कर लेंगे सर।
सैम पिट्रोदा जी से बात हुई थी, अभी ऑनलाइन कनेक्ट नहीं हुए?
हाँ सर, कनेक्ट वो होने की कोशिश हो रही थी, थोड़ा ग्लिच हो गया लिंक में सर। अभी दोबारा जनरेट कर रहे हैं सर। उन्होंने फोन पे बात की है कि मैं लिंक की वेट कर रहा हूँ सर। आप कुछ
नमस्कार सभी पार्टी और समृद्ध हिमाचल का जो हमारा संकल्प है वो एक संकल्प नहीं है, वो एक आत्मनिर्भर हिमाचल की नींव रखने का एक दृढ़ निश्चय है। 2 साल पहले जब हमारी सरकार आई, हमारी सरकार ने कहा व्यवस्था परिवर्तन। व्यवस्था परिवर्तन का मकसद क्या है? व्यवस्था परिवर्तन का उद्देश्य है 40 साल पुराने दकियानुसी कानून थे, नियम थे, और उन सुधारों से हम आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा हमारे सभी अधिकारियों का, चीफ सेक्रेटरी महोदय का। हमने उसमें परिवर्तन किया और जिन स्ट्रक्चर रिफॉर्म्स के माध्यम से, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्ट्रक्चर रिफॉर्म के माध्यम से हम आगे, आपने समृद्ध हिमाचल 2045 का लक्ष्य रखा। जब से मैं कार्यालय में बैठा हूं मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर, 2 चीजें मैंने देखी। हमारी इकोनॉमी जो है वो एम्प्लॉयज ड्रिवन और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ड्रिवन होकर रही है। जिस प्रदेश का बजट का तकरीबन 52% कर्मचारी की पेंशन पे पर जाता हो, 7% हमारे 7 से 8% कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स के द्वारा जाता हो, उसके बाद जो हमारी संपदा है उसमें 80% पॉपुलेशन को थोड़ा थोड़ा मिलता हो, तो हमें आगे कैसे बढ़े? मेरा मानना है कि हमने जो एक सोच रखी है, अगर आप 72 और 75 के समय में जाइए तो बहुत कम लोग सरकारी नौकरी करना चाहते, सब लोग एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में थे, सरकार की तरफ आते नहीं। धीरे धीरे हम उसमें परिवर्तन आया और अधिकारियों की नीति ऐसी हुई कि हिमाचल प्रदेश की 75 लाख की जनसंख्या में सब लोग सरकार में किसी न किसी रूप में आगे बढ़ना चाहते। वो 10 साल तक 5,000 रुपए की नौकरी करकर अपना गुजारा कर सकते हैं, लेकिन किसी भी प्रकार से वो सरकार की नौकरी प्राप्त करने के लिए जितनी भी राज्य सरकारें आई पिछले 40 वर्ष में उन पर दबाव रहा, और जितना भी नेतृत्व आया उस पर भी दबाव। हम सरकारी कर्मचारी और अधिकारियों के सहयोग से एक ऐसी अर्थव्यवस्था का निर्माण करना चाहते हैं कि उस अर्थव्यवस्था में जो साथी हमारे छूट चुके हैं, जो हमारी जनसंख्या छूट चुकी है, कैसे उसको आगे लाया। अब मैं कुछ बातें इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक की कर। एक समय पानी लग गया था, हिमाचल के पास पानी के रूप में संपदा थी। पानी के रूप में संपदा की पहचान हमने बहुत कम की, और पानी की संपदा के द्वारा ये प्रदेश काफी पहले समृद्ध हिमाचल हो जाता अगर उस समय हमारी नीतियां और विचार आधुनिक होते। लेकिन उस समय हमारे पास पैसा नहीं था, नया हिमाचल बना, और जो डॉक्टर वाइस परमार की सोच थी कि पहाड़ी क्षेत्रों की संस्कृति, पहाड़ी क्षेत्रों का रहन सहन को बचाए रखना है, उन्होंने लैंड सीलिंग एक्ट लाया। और आप देखेंगे कि इस प्रदेश जिस फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर में हम रह रहे हैं, उस फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर्स में जितने भी कानून भारत सरकार या हिमाचल प्रदेश की सरकार द्वारा लागू किए, उसमें हिमाचल प्रदेश ने अक्षर लागू किए। इसका मतलब है कि हम शांति प्रिय लोग, कानून का पालन करने वाले लोग। अब जिस संपदा को मैं कहना चाहता हूं, एनटीपीसी, एनएचपीसी, एसजेवीएन ने उस संपदा का दोहन किया और फ्री पावर के लिए 12% फ्री रॉयल्टी के रूप में हमें बिजली दी। मैं जब अध्ययन कर रहा था कि कई प्रोजेक्ट तो हमारे जीवन भर के लिए दी गई, इसलिए कई बार मैं अधिकारियों के समक्ष अपनी बात को जब रखता हूं तो वो कई बार कहते हैं कि ये काल्पनिक बात है, हमारे करने का बस नहीं। पर मैं कह सकता हूं हमारी इच्छा शक्ति मजबूत है, हमारी राज्य के प्रति कर्तव्य निष्ठा मजबूत है, और हम इस दृष्टि से जो भी संपदा है उसका कैसे अधिक से अधिक दोहन करें, और जो हिमाचल की जनता के अधिकार है पानी की संपदा के रूप में, जिस पानी की संपदा से पुअर सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो लोक उपक्रम है वो तो धनवान होंगे, और हिमाचल जैसा छोटा राज्य उस संपदा से अभी तक महरूम। मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि एसजेबी ने जब 92 में जब प्लानिंग डिपार्टमेंट ने 1992 में जब इस प्रोजेक्ट को सैंक्शन किया, उसमें पंडित सुखराम जी और पी नरसिम्हा राव जी प्रधानमंत्री थे। पहला बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट 1500 मेगावाट का नाथवा झांकी के रूप में इस प्रदेश में आया। उस समय 12% फ्री रॉयल्टी की बात थी। उस समय जब इसको प्लानिंग से अप्रूव किया गया, उस समय थोड़ी कमी हमसे रहेगी। हमने कभी ये सोचा नहीं कि जो बिजली बनी है उसका रॉ मटेरियल पानी है, और पानी का मूल्य कभी बढ़ेगा नहीं। आप अगर थर्मल पावर प्रोजेक्ट लगाते हैं तो कोयले का मूल्य बढ़ेगा, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का मूल्य बढ़ेगा, पर पानी का कभी मूल्य नहीं बढ़ेगा। और फिनिश गुड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, यानी कि जो पानी आज 92 से 97 तक जब ये प्रोजेक्ट बना, उस पानी के मूल्य में कोई वृद्धि नहीं हुई। उस पानी के मूल्य में कोई वृद्धि नहीं, और उस पानी से बनने वाली बिजली के मूल्य में भी कोई वृद्धि नहीं होनी चाहिए। सिर्फ जो कर्मचारी और उसके ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट आती है उसमें वृद्धि। तो जो जहां रॉ मटेरियल पानी है और फिनिश गुड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, उनको फायदा होता है। मैं तो एक अपने प्रदेश की कंपनी की बात करूंगा जिसमें 27% हिमाचल प्रदेश की इक्विटी को रखा गया। उस समय के हालात और परिस्थितियां में उसमें आज एसडीबी ने जिस समृद्ध हिमाचल की हम कल्पना 2045 में लेकर चले हैं, वो एसडीबी ने महज 30 साल में 67,000 करोड़ रुपए की कंपनी होगी। और जिस हिमाचल प्रदेश की नींव 1971 में पूर्ण राज्य के रूप में मिली, उस हिमाचल प्रदेश का बजट आज जब मैंने प्रस्तुत किया 58,514 करोड़ रुपए है। उसमें भी 4 से 5,000 करोड़ रुपए का और है। मेरी चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब से कई बार बातचीत होती रही, कई मुद्दों पर बातचीत होती रही, फिर भी हमने प्रदेश की इस आर्थिक स्थिति को अधिकारी के माध्यम से संभाला। या प्रदेश में हम किसी प्रकार की व्यवस्था आगे बढ़ाते रहेंगे, इसमें एक नई सोच की जरूरत है। तकरीबन आज नई सोच के साथ हमारे अधिकारी काम कर रहे हैं। हमने सभी जगह व्यवस्था परिवर्तन किया। व्यवस्था परिवर्तन के महज एक नारा नहीं है, व्यवस्था परिवर्तन सही मायने में काम करने की दिशा में प्रदेश को आत्मनिर्भर की ओर अग्रसर करने का एक हमारा किया गया वादा है। अगर राजनीतिक अस्थिरता पिछले 4-5 महीने नहीं रहती तो मैं कह सकता हूं कि आज प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था ने थोड़ी और दिशा पकड़ी। जिस प्रदेश के पास प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य हो, वहां हम तकियानुसी कानून बनाकर बैठे रहे, उनको भी बदलने की जरूरत का समय आ चुका है। कहा तो हमें पर्यटक स्टेट कहा जाता है, पर्यटक राज्य के रूप में प्रसिद्ध है, लेकिन किसी को अगर यहाँ होटल बनाना हो जिसमें 100 करोड़ रुपया खर्च करना हो, 200 करोड़ रुपया खर्च करना हो, पहले पटवारी के इर्द चक्कर लगाता है। 1 साल तक वो अपने होटल के लिए परमिशन के लिए लड़ाई लड़ता रहता है। मेरे विचार में अगर हिमाचल प्रदेश को आने वाले 2032 में समृद्धशाली और अमीर राज्य बनाना है तो हमें अपने कानूनों में बदलाव करना पड़ेगा, हमारी सोच में बदलाव करना पड़ेगा। हम न्यूक्लियर सोच से आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते, हमें सोच को ब्रॉड करना पड़ेगा। और मेरा यह मानना है कि हमारी सरकार इस दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाए। टूरिज्म सेक्टर में हम चाहेंगे खुले मन से खुली नीति को स्वीकार किया जाए। गुड गवर्नमेंट के लिए गुड गवर्नेंस का होना जरूरी है, अच्छे शासन के लिए अच्छे प्रशासन का होना जरूरी है। हम मांगे तो पूरी करते जाते हैं, लेकिन मांगों को पूरा करने वाली धन कहां से आएगा उस दिशा में भी सोचने की जरूरत है। आज आपके हॉस्पिटल्स में जो अधिकारी यहाँ 20-25 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, कभी आपने कल्पना की है कि हमारे जो हॉस्पिटल्स हैं उन हॉस्पिटल्स की क्या व्यवस्था है, किस प्रकार की टेक्नोलॉजी से वो लेस है। एक इंस्टीट्यूशन कैपिटल का है जीएमसी, जिसमें आपकी एमआरआई ही 20 साल पुरानी है। उस एमआरआई को बदलने की जगह आप बार बार उसका रिपेयर करवाते हैं और नई एमआरआई से ज्यादा उसमें खर्च कर चुके हैं। जोनल हॉस्पिटल, रीजनल हॉस्पिटल, सिविल हॉस्पिटल, प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर, और उनमें क्या हम करने जा रहे हैं और किस सोच के साथ हमने किया, कभी आपने अंदर झांक के जो अधिकारी इस प्रदेश में लगे हुए में भी देखना चाहिए। शिक्षा संस्थानों का क्या हाल है? आप बंद कमरों में बैठकर कभी देखा है कि प्राइमरी के स्कूल में 5 बच्चे बैठे हैं, 10 बच्चे बैठे हैं, क्या बच्चों का एक्सपोजर होगा? उसमें हमारा राजनीतिक नेतृत्व भी जिम्मेवार, क्योंकि जो भी सरकार आती है उसकी सोच को अधिकारी आगे बढ़ाते हैं। लेकिन हॉस्पिटल तो हमारा प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूशन है। एक बेड पर 2-2 मरीज सोया करते थे, कैजुअलिटी वार्ड हुआ करता था। हमने थोड़ा प्रयत्न किया, उसको अपग्रेडेशन की और डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इमरजेंसी मेडिसिन बनाया। जब हम डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इमरजेंसी मेडिसिन बनाया, पूरा उसमें हमने उस व्यवस्था को रखा। अब हर एक वार्ड में एक पेशेंट एक बेड पर सोया होता है, लेकिन अभी भी कमी है। हमें डॉक्टर पेशेंट रेशियो इसको अपग्रेड करना है और वर्ल्ड क्लास बनाना है। पिछले दिनों मेरी अधिकारियों से बैठक हुई, उस बैठक में हमने कहा कि लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए हम 1700 करोड़ रुपए का एक प्रोजेक्ट हमने भारत सरकार की स्वीकृति के लिए भेजा है। यही नहीं हम रुकने वाले, उसके अलावा हमने अपने संसाधनों से इस वर्ष तकरीबन 150 करोड़ रुपए के आईजीएमसी शिमला, चमियाना, टांडा, नेरचौक और मीरपुर मेडिकल कॉलेज में एमआरआई फ्री टेस्ला जो एम्स में लगी है उसकी स्वीकृति प्रदान। अभी समय लगेगा, सरकारें आती है, सरकारें चली जाती है, लेकिन एक सोच उस विचार को आगे बढ़ाती है। इसलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि हेल्थ सेक्टर में हम 1 साल में अत्याधुनिक मशीनों के साथ आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश करें। पिछली व्यवस्था को बदलना होगा, ये महज एक नारा नहीं है। जब भी मैं सोचता हूं, समझता हूं, तो हमेशा हर विभाग के बारे में पढ़ के, मेरा ख्याल है कोई ऐसे अधिकारी नहीं होंगे जिनको मैं 6:30-7 बजे फोन नहीं करता हूं। मेरी इस बात से शिव शक्ति महोदय अच्छी तरह भी परिचित। मैं एक बात और कहना चाहता हूं, हिमाचल को भगवान ने प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य दिया, हिमाचल की शान छवि पूरे हिंदुस्तान में, पूरे विश्व में प्रसिद्ध। आज एक हिंदू का आर्टिकल आया और मुझे खुशी है कि पूरी सब इंडिया की सब स्टेट्स में हिमाचल प्रदेश में हैप्पीएस्ट पहले नंबर पर आई है। दूसरे पर उत्तराखंड है, तीसरे पर पंजाब। क्योंकि यहाँ हमारे लोग थोड़ी सी ही चीज में संतुष्ट है, ज्यादा नहीं रखते। यही हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है। लेकिन हम कुछ विचारे पुराने विचारों में भी बंधे हुए। हमें महिलाओं को आगे लाना है, डिसीजन मेकिंग में महिलाओं को आगे लाकर जो हमारा समाज थोड़ा सा पिछड़ा है वो बराबरी के हक में आएगा, तभी संपूर्ण हिमाचल आगे बढ़ेगा। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्रांतिकारी बदलाव की जरूरत है। ऐसा क्या हुआ कि हमारे स्कूल से ड्रॉप आउट हो रहा है, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल से। हम सैलरी अच्छी दे रहे हैं, हम पेंशन अच्छी दे रहे हैं, फिर बच्चे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में क्यों नहीं जा रहे? क्यों उनका विश्वास टूटा है? मैं खुद एक सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ा हूं और मैं उस समय के सरकारी स्कूल में, मैं छोटा शिमला के सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ा, तकरीबन 500-700 बच्चे पढ़े थे। कोई हिचकिचाहट नहीं होती थी, एक्सपोजर होता था। उसके बाद एक ही यूनिवर्सिटी होती थी, हिमाचल प्रदेश यूनिवर्सिटी। उस यूनिवर्सिटी में आज मैं देखता हूं तो कई अधिकारी बने हैं, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी मेरे जूनियर होते थे राकेश कंवर जी, कई और अधिकारी हैं जो हिमाचल प्रदेश यूनिवर्सिटी से पढ़े। पर हम सब जो बीजेपी से भी एमएलए बने एक ही यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़े थे। 4-4 यूनिवर्सिटीज, 5-5 यूनिवर्सिटीज खोलने की प्रक्रिया स्टार्ट कर, वो यूनिवर्सिटीज ना होकर एक क्षेत्रीय कॉलेज बन गए जहां एक्सपोजर मिलेगा। सब चीजों पर विशेष ध्यान देने की जरूरत है। डाटा ड्रिवन इकोनॉमी तो हम सोच सकते हैं, आंकड़ों के मायाजाल को हम प्रस्तुत कर सकते हैं, या वास्तविक में हमें किस हाथ में पैसा पड़ना है इस दृष्टि से सोचने की जरूरत है। हमारा जो बजट था, जो आर्थिक संसाधनों से हमने हिम्मत जिताई, अपने बजट में वो उतना अधिक वृद्धि नहीं की, सिर्फ 70 करोड़ रुपए की वृद्धि की। लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम आए सत्ता में और सत्ता के बाद वापस हम कुछ करके आने वाले, उसमें सभी कर्मचारी और अधिकारियों का सहयोग भी। ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था इस परिवेश में मजबूत है। ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था से मेरा अभिप्राय ग्रामीणों को सब्सिडी देना नहीं है। मैंने देखा कई विभाग ट्रेडिंग का काम कर रहे हैं कि हम खुद खरीदेंगे, उसके बाद किसान को देंगे, अनुदान के रूप में देंगे। मेरा ये मानना है, हम कुछ भी ना खरीदें, हम किसान को बोले कि जो चीज हम आपसे चाहते हैं वो चीज आप लाइए, हम उसका आपको अधिकतम मूल्य देंगे। जो अभी हमने आर्थिक समृद्धि की बात की है, उस आर्थिक समृद्धि में और जो 2045 का विजन है उसमें ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था का मूल उदाहरण ये होना चाहिए कि उस दृष्टि में फोकस किया जाए। ये बात मैं इसलिए कहना चाहता हूँ, 80% हमारे परिवार गांव में। एक विडंबना है, हिमाचल की सरकार गरीब है लेकिन हिमाचल के लोग धनवान हैं। ऐसा नहीं है, कोई काम करने वाला नहीं मिलता। अपना बोझा उठाने में के लिए भी हमारे पास कोई व्यक्ति हिमाचल का नहीं मिलता। थोड़ा सा हमारी कार्य प्रणाली और कार्य पद्धति की सोच में परिवर्तन आया है। इस परिवर्तन से हमें आगे उठना है। तो एक ऐसी कार्य प्रणाली का हमें निर्वाह करना है जहां खुद ये सोचे कि हमने इस प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाया। ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था के प्रमुख पहलू क्या है? ट्रेडिंग करना डिपार्टमेंट का काम नहीं है, उन्हें सहायता प्रदान करना डिपार्टमेंट का काम नहीं है, उन्हें सही दिशा देना विभागों का कार्य होना चाहिए। इसलिए मैं आप लोगों से, अधिकारियों से बात चाहता हूं तो मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि आप प्रदेश के अधिकारी हैं, प्रदेश में काम कर चुके हैं, प्रदेश के हर क्षेत्र से आप वाकिफ हैं। हर हर क्षेत्र की अपनी एक पहचान है। जहां मिड हिमालय है, शिवालिक हिल्स है, नीतियां उसके अंतर्गत बनती थी। आपको मैं एक चीज बताना चाहता हूं, मैं विधायक 2003-04 में बना। अब्दुल कलाम जी ने विधानसभा में एक प्रेजेंटेशन दिया। उन्होंने कुछ क्षेत्रों को चिन्हित किया और सही मायने में उन्होंने सही चिन्हित किया। वो तो हिमाचल की ज्योग्राफी से बहुत ज्यादा परिचित नहीं थे, डेमोग्राफी से बहुत ज्यादा परिचित नहीं थे। और मैं आज देख रहा हूं, उन्होंने उस समय रूरल इकोनॉमी की बात की थी।
सर थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, तो हमको भी डिस्कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। तो
सर हाँ सर
मैं फिर बाद में आपसे
सर रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं सर, 1 मिनट के लिए हम डिस्कनेक्ट करेंगे, फिर रिकनेक्ट कर लेंगे सर। सैम सर को थोड़ा गूगल मीट पे कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं सर। थैंक यू सो मच सर। अभी रिकनेक्ट करते हैं आपसे सर जूम पे। ईमेल पे भेजिए। अभी कनेक्टेड।
Namaskar. Namaskar. Sorry it took so long to connect.
So
There is some
sorry.
confusion. My apology.
My apologies, sir. My apologies from HIPAA.
No, I should have tested it before.
Gee.
Do you want me to start?
Yes, you should start.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister, Samridh Singh of Himachal Pradesh, citizens of the state, dignitaries, officers, domain experts, ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Chicago. It is indeed a special honor and privilege for me to be with you at Dr. Manmohan Singh, Himachal Pradesh Institute of Public Administration. I am delighted to learn that you have organized this special event, looking at Himachal for the next 2 decades, Himachal in 2045. It's a great initiative. My compliments to Chief Minister and all others for this initiative. You are a God's country in terms of state. Such a beautiful place. I've been to Himachal and I am one of the admirers of your state. You have great education institutions, beauty, not very large population. So you should be able to do things that others can't do. But this will require out-of-the-box thinking, which is not very easy in India. If we don't do something special now, then you won't be able to make a difference. Because most of the states in India are going through financial crisis. If you can't meet payroll of your people, You can't think big. And that's why it is important to think outside the box. And it's not easy to think outside the box when you are already boxed in. The system which captures you and tells you what to do and what not to do, which is always bringing constraints, and as a result, people feel frustrated. Everybody wants to do a good job, but they can't do it. I mean, look at it, took us 1 hour to connect on internet for no reason. Okay? Because sometimes I feel that we have in India Brahminian work, which is to talk about work, and Sudra's work, which is to get things done. So I think we will have to focus more on how to get things done. You have a very good program. I've seen the 8 focus areas: tourism, agro, circular economy, IT and AI, skilling, infrastructure, industry, and health. I look at things a little differently, and if you don't mind, I would like to take you into a different way of looking at this. Before that, let me give you 5 minutes on my background, because that will help you understand where I am coming from. Sometimes we all, in essence, take same path, but somewhere we get opportunities, support, and we begin to evolve differently. I was born and raised in British Raj. I was born in 1942. And at that time, independence movement was still on the minds of everybody. Character, values became so very important because of people like Gandhiji, Pandit Nehru, Maulana Azad, Sardar Patel, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sarojini Naidu. They were all stalwarts. And growing up, we looked at them for character and values, which I believe are very important going forward. I was born in a small little tribal village in Orissa. My father had 4th grade education. There were no schools in town, no hospital, no doctor, no nothing. So my parents decided to send us to a school in Gujarat, which was Gandhian school. Discipline, respect for other human beings, truth, trust. All of these Gandhian ideas were part of growing up, not realizing that ultimately this will form the foundation of your life. We were naive, we didn't know what all of this meant. Anyway, I was the first one to graduate in physics, then I got a master's in physics, and one fine day saw that President Kennedy had decided to send man onto the moon. So I took a boat from Mumbai to Karachi, Karachi to Aden, Aden to Egypt, Egypt to Naples, to Genova, took a train from Genova to London, took a plane from London to New York, and took a bus from New York to Chicago. This was 60 years ago. The reason I want you to know this, because you got to be explorer. You got to take risk. You got to go into unknown. And you got to experiment. If you get stuck in one place in one way, it is hard to think out of the box. I had a girlfriend in India. She came to US, we got married, started our life. And then during Rajiv Gandhi's time, I came back to India for 10 years to work on IT and telecom with Rajiv. I changed my nationality back from from American to Indian, and I had the best time of my life. Rajiv Gandhi, in a sense, gave meaning to my life. I worked with him on many, many projects, and I want to link this up with what we want to do in Himachal, or what we want to propose to do in Himachal. It was an excitement to work with a fresh mind. And we all worked long hours. And we all experimented with different things. And we had political will to back us. Unfortunately, Rajiv Gandhi died. I ran out of money. I'd never taken any salary in India. So I had to come back to US. I didn't have a visa to come back. I came as a tourist, restarted my life, and then when Manmohan Singh became Prime Minister, I again came back to work on National Knowledge Commission, Digital India, and innovations. Again, these are the areas which are important to Himachal as well. Throughout this journey, one thing that was common was change. Everything was all about change, changing yourself. I'm 83 years old. I work 24 hours a day. I don't have to. But it is exciting to do things today. We are lucky that technology today allows us to do things we could never imagine before. For the first time in the human history, we are all connected. All 8 billion people are connected. What does this connectivity mean to human civilization? What does this connectivity mean to Himachal Pradesh? It is not about WhatsApp and watching Bollywood movies and cricket games. It is much more than entertainment. It is about transformation of our people, of our institutions, of our civil society, our judiciary, and our government. Unfortunately, digital transformation is not happening at the grassroots level in terms of mind. It is happening in files. For example, India has largest number of court cases pending in the world. Something like 40 or 50 million. And we are experts in digital technology, AI and all that. Why can't we just decide that all our court cases would be settled in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years with the technology we have? So in a sense, problems are known, solutions are known, but we can't make it happen. And I want to focus a little bit on that. So all 8 areas we have identified are great, but I would add to that education. We cannot leave education on side. Education has to be the core of Himachal Pradesh activities. You know, British people recognize some of this, set up all the great institutions in, can you hold on this first? I'm on an international video call. Another maybe half an hour. didn't want you to know this.
Bishop Cotton schools, no school.
No, I said I didn't want you to know this, but I'm in the hospital. Okay? So I just dressed up to take this call. Doctor walked in. I had some issue 2 days ago with pancreas inflammation, nothing serious. So they put me in a hospital for 4 or 5 days. I got up today for this talk, and I have another talk at 9 o'clock, and then doctor can come examine me. My apology. So, I was telling you more about education. Himachal should be the classroom of India. Himachal should build better and bigger education institutions. It is not about skill development. Education is not about skill development. Education is about creating better citizens. Psychology, philosophy, anthropology, economics. All of these skills we ignore. And we immediately go into technology and skills and all. And the real problem is soft skills. So I would say Himachal has a great opportunity to be the learning center, classroom of India. But we have problems with our school. In India, I'm told, we have problems with drugs. We have problems with kind of education. And that whole area needs rethinking. If I had an option today, I would change education to make everybody a self-learner. We don't teach people to be a self-learner. We tell them to mug some stuff up, pass some exams, get some grades, and get a job. And people don't realize that you have to learn for the rest of your life after you graduate. So how do we use these technologies of AI and all that to make someone who is 15-year-old a self-learner? After that, you don't have to tell him what to do. So I believe there is a huge opportunity in education in Himachal Pradesh. We have big apple business, which I am told is being threatened by imports. So rightfully said, in your plan on agro food processing, we got to go up the value chain. Some time ago, I had worked with Naveen Kapila, whom I have known for many, many years, on disaster management for the state. But not much happened, unfortunately. And the way we had proposed it, state will not have to spend any money. The money will come from ITU and other agencies. Many years ago, we had a disaster in North, and I immediately called Naveen, and he and I put together a plan through International Telecom Union, where both of us are very active. And we provided disaster communication system instantly in 5 days. MTNL couldn't do it, BSNL couldn't do it. So we have so many opportunities in Himachal. So on one hand, you have listed 8 main programs, tourism and all, which are really great. I would request you to think about adding education to that. You can't ignore education. And it is not skill development. It is building better citizens. It is about civil sense. It is about, teamwork. It is about so many things. So if I had to summarize a lot of these things, I would say we have 3 fundamental challenges in Himachal. One is funding. If we can't organize funding on a big scale, we cannot think big. So how do you create funding mechanism? Whether you create special bonds for state or bonds with public-private partnership to build institutions and infrastructures. But you have to create bond to raise money. More money you raise, better you would be in delivering development. Too much of our money today goes in salaries. We have the same problem in the US. Okay. So I think it is time to really think through on how to raise capital. Fight with the center if necessary to give you freedom to raise capital. In US, every municipality can raise bond for their local projects. So we need to be really creative. We need to talk to the market people on stock market, on financial advisors and all, and put together a plan saying we need to raise, I would say, just shoot for 100 billion. It may be 50. Okay. But you got to think big. And you can deliver on big things if you think big. So first priority that I would focus on is raising capital. And that's where you will have to find the right people in financial world. Those who raise money, those who work with big money, whether it is Indian version of Goldman Sachs or, HDFC, ICICI or whatever. If you can identify in these 8 areas projects to fund, and don't expect government to fund it, state government I mean. It has to be through the market. And this is out of the box thinking we need to really focus on. Second, I would really encourage total decentralization. In India, everything is top down. We are hierarchical and feudal. We need bottom up, and that means we need decentralization. You have 12 districts. Each district should be autonomous in many ways, but we don't have a political structure at district level. We have more of a bureaucratic structure. And as a result, our mayors are not very powerful. Our cities are not run by political bosses. In Chicago, a mayor of Chicago is as powerful as President of the United States in many ways. So how do we decentralize all of this stuff so that each district begins to compete with each other? Each district is autonomous, independent. And if you take 30 million and 12 districts, you got 2.5 million per district on average, some more, some less. That's big number. Many countries are not that big. So unless we decentralize everything, and Gandhiji always talked about it. Gandhi was my role model. Gandhiji was very clear about decentralization. After independence, we didn't have the talent to decentralize. And now we are so used to centralization that more and more gets centralized by Prime Minister's office, and we think only one person knows all the answers. And that's just not viable. We've got to empower a large number of people through decentralization. Third area, which is my favorite area, is to really launch missions on these 8. In Rajiv Gandhi's time, we had technology missions. We had mission on literacy, immunization, drinking water, oil seeds, telecom, milk production with Korea. And we were going to launch 2 more missions, one on housing and one on drought and floods. The idea of mission is to really define missionaries in the government. There are very capable people. But if you don't put that person in charge for 2-3 years and keep moving them after 6 months, 9 months, a year, you can't get much done. So one requirement in mission was to have a mission director who will stay there for 3 to 5 years. A mission which has tangible, measurable milestones. A mission that is not government mission. It is public mission led by government. So you will have civil society participate, you will have media participate, you will have domain experts, you will have board of directors of the mission. So whosoever is the secretary will report to this board on a side. Of course, he will also follow government hierarchy, there is no issue. But the input will begin to come from outside. Today, very little input comes in the government from domain experts who are connected with civil society. These missions were designed in Rajiv Gandhi's time to deliver development to a large number of people in a very short period of time. You'll be surprised to learn that we had 21 billion people working on various parts of the mission. We had 2 million volunteers in literacy mission. We eradicated polio because Rajiv Gandhi said, we will manufacture polio vaccine on our own. Everyone said India cannot manufacture vaccine. Today we are the largest producer of vaccines in the world. We are largest producer of milk in the world. We were importing large amount of oil seeds. We stopped importing at one point in time. We are back again. Telecom, IT. Then we had 2 million telephones. Today we almost have 1.5 billion phones. And we also generate $200 billion worth of software export every year, year after year. But it took 40 years to get there. People don't remember any of these things. The seeds we planted in Rajiv Gandhi's time is what we are benefiting from today. So we got to decide what seeds we plant in Himachal today. So our children and their children would benefit. So unless and until we collectively decide to have 10, 5, 20, whatever missions, 10 is a good number, missions with mission director, with proper dedicated staff, with this board, outside advisors, and have similar missions at the district level. So in Rajiv Gandhi's time we had national level missions, and every state had the same missions. So Jairam used to work with me, and then he was my chief of staff, so he and I would go to various states, meet with the chief minister and all their mission people. And our meeting would have about 40, 50 people. And every mission got broken down into state level agenda. We need to do the same thing in Himachal. When you talk about skill, we need to say what is going to happen to skill development in every district. Don't have it at the state level only. Whether it is agro-business, circular economy, infrastructure, industry, health, every district should be responsible for their part of deliverables. And deliverables have to be articulated to people of the state. So every 6 months, we used to have every 3 months, big press meeting. where we'll tell them what we have accomplished, where we have failed, and what we plan to accomplish in the next 3 months. Public commitment is a great motivator. If you make public commitment, you motivate your team, motivate your people. And then you realize that you have to deliver. What happens in our system is execution is always lacking. We don't know how to execute. We are great at ideas, we are great at policies, but look at our implementation everywhere. It's part of our nature, it is part of our culture. And that has to change with young people. They are capable, they have the tools required for it, and I believe it is time for Himachal to really structure 8 or 10 missions, appoint mission directors, keep them in that job for 3 years, give them targets to achieve. At every district, appoint mission directors, give them also targets to shoot for. Tell press what you are planning to do, and be open, transparent, and get people involved. It is not just government's job to build a state. It is the job of every citizen. And they should expect that Maa Baap Sarkar is going to deliver on everything. If they don't participate, no one can deliver. So my summary would be, one, and I've given a lot of thought to this. I can work with you, I can share with you some more thoughts. There's a lot of documentation on technology mission. In fact, United Nations did a study on Indian technology missions. There's a big conference in Poland. I went there, and I have a copy of the report. And that report says every country should have technology missions, and India has really shown. But then after Rajiv Gandhi died, government just, because it was Rajiv Gandhi's idea, abolished it. And no one followed up. And now everybody is using mission as sort of standard buzzwords, but they don't mean what they say, which is very common in India. They don't mean what they say, and they don't say what they mean. Many people come to you and say, yeah, I'll get it done. That doesn't mean you'll get it done. Because it's fashionable to tell you that. I had a friend, psychiatrist, he used to say that this is split level consciousness. In India, we have split level consciousness. We tell what you want to hear, and we don't go into real facts. We are also not very good team players, because everybody has very fragile self-esteem. Everybody is ready to be hurt. We don't have leaders who can exercise leadership and accept leadership at the same time. Either you exercise leadership or you accept leadership. To get things done, you need to be able to do both of those at the same time. In some areas, somebody else is expert. He could be very junior. You have to respect him or her. And these are all the skills that you need to get things done. So I'm delighted that you have taken this initiative. I'm sure through these conversations, more debate, more discussion, we will find a way. We have to work together to make sure that Himachal is a star performer in India. But it can only happen if we define missions, provide the organizational architecture for the missions, decentralize, and find money to do these things. And money is not going to come from government. Money will have to come from public. Then only we will be able to structure projects which are viable. You know, I worked once with Amrinder in Punjab. He was a good friend. And I said to Amrinder, look, we have 2 million water pumps in Punjab. They are all AC pump. And state of Punjab spent $1 billion to subsidize electricity for farmers. 1 billion. So I said, why don't we just convert all these pumps to DC and solar power pump? And it will cost about $4 or $5 billion. And that money can come from the market. Government ultimately will get out of it in subsidizing the electricity. In the beginning, government will be a co-signer on these financial transactions, and we have to be creative. And you can't tell me, oh, it can't be done. You got to make it happen. We can do same thing in Karnataka, we can do same thing in Telangana, we can do same thing in Himachal Pradesh. Just one idea is to convert all our farmers' pump into DC pump. AC pumps are obsolete. Today we use solar panel for AC pumps, which is not cost effective. There are a lot of issues like this. I can go into a lot of details, but that's not the idea. Idea is to support what you are trying to do. Idea is to work with you, augment your effort, and together, I believe we can change Himachal. I am very excited that Chief Minister has taken this initiative. A lot of the administration people, young IAS officers, I have met some of them on phone. They are very smart. They are committed. Our job is to support them, work with them, and make this happen. And then you have other people like Navin Kapilas of the world outside of the system. Businessmen, well-wishers, people who lived in Shimla all their life, people who want to come home. I mean, the NRIs are your great asset. Do we have in Himachal NRI cell? Whenever an NRI comes to Himachal, can he go somewhere and talk to somebody? You know, if I was from Himachal and I had come back to Simla, I'd like to go to my school and give a little talk to all the kids. Can government help? That will motivate me, that will excite me, and I'll do something in the state. But we don't do these kinds of things. Well, we have forms, but we have no substance. There'll be a big organization doing this, and then you ask them, how many people you interacted this year? There isn't much to show. So we need to really put substance in our forms. NRI is a great example. They all want to give because they feel guilty. Why did I come back to India? To help building telecom. I didn't have to do it. I could have built $1 billion business here. I didn't do that. Because I felt from Gandhian ideas that it is my duty to help my people. I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time. And if I don't give something back, I would feel guilty. It's my problem. It's nobody else's problem. So we'll find a lot of people like this. There are people from Himachal and other parts of India who are well accomplished, whether at CSIR or at space research or at some IITs. Can we connect with them? Can we get them home 2 days a year to do something? So all of these things require out of the box thinking. So with this, I want to once again thank Honorable Chief Minister and all of you for the initiative. Thank you for giving me this time. I am available to help in whatever way I can. But I'm just one. There are hundreds of people like me who would be ready to help you. But we have to be clear on what is that we want. We just don't want a conference. We just don't want, ideas. We want to execute. And to execute, money, decentralization, visions. That's my message. And we focus on those three, everything else will begin to fall in place. So thank you, and I'll be happy to interact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now I request Honorable CM Saab, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhuji, to respond or interact. And sir, we also have in the house joining us from the Secretariat all our worthy secretaries, and headed that meeting with our worthy Chief Secretary also. Over to you, sir. CM Saab, अगर आप कुछ बात करना चाहेंगे पहले. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Whatever you said it, we have taken 5 initiatives to build Himachal. We have given a slogan of system, structural system change, Vyavastha Parivartan. The Hindi name is Vyavastha Parivartan. From Vyavastha Parivartan to Atmanirbhar Himachal. And 2032 we should be a prosperous and rich state in the country. We are working there. You have said so many aspects, give guidance on so many things. But first, one thing we are focusing on, particular, on rural economy. We are 80% of our population living in rural areas.
Absolutely. That's why decentralization is important.
And starting from my government, I have started decentralization. I have given to the powers to all take the decision in some of the department. But somewhere we have a problem because we are going to change it. The system running for last 40 years.
Yep.
They have to take time to change it. But I am thankful to all the officers of Himachal Pradesh, and particularly the Chief Secretary of the Himachal Pradesh. He is following my lines after discussions, lot of things. And we are focusing on education, the natural farming, the basic concept of natural farming we are going on this, and the tourism sector. 5 focus points we have pointed out. The first sector is our tourism sector, second sector is our hydro sector, third is food processing, fourth is dairy industries, and fifth is data storage. These are the 5 sectors we have identified in as per the Himachal ecology and Himachal topography. And I am telling you, in next few years the result will come. Natural farming, we are the pioneer state in India. And we are the first state in India who is going for green energy state. In 31st March 2026, we will be a green energy state, which will give us lot of benefits to our states to build industries on green energy. Second things we have producing 1 megawatt green hydrogen in Nalagarh. We are the first state. These are the future energy which will come into the latest state. And school education. We are going for a Rajiv Gandhi Day boarding school. From pre-nursery to 1,000 students schools we are going to open in next.
School education is the key.
In next year, next admission, 10 these schools will come into the starting stage. And another thing is, we are changing lot of things, but we don't have a money. The government of India, we cannot raise fund because without prior permission of there. We cannot go for a bond as compared to the Americans because we have to take the permission of RBI. They are not allowing us. But whatever you said it is impetus for all of us. I am thankful to you कि you are at this juncture जब आप बीमार हैं और फिर भी आप हमारे साथ interaction कर रहे हैं. Naveen Kapila, I know him from the telecom sector. Because he belongs to Mandi. His father was the deputy commissioner there. So I know him.
Put him to work.
Yes, I have said for contact Bharat News. So I will tell the chief secretaries and other secretaries to interact with you and discuss with the few.
See, on this bond issue, what we should do probably is structure in such a way that it looks like bond is being raised by private sector.
Yeah.
but backed by you. So you meet government requirement and you get the money.
But because government of India is not permitting us.
Yeah, that's right. So we have to structure it in such a way that government cannot object to raising bond. If, let's say, if I have a partnership, or Naveen or Mr. XYZ has a partnership with you on building school, that person will raise the bond. And you will provide guarantee that we'll have students. So we got to be creative in structuring.
Right.
So it looks like private is raising bond, but on your strength. I don't know why nobody has done this. Because everybody says, government if it doesn't allow. So you figure out a way to allow. You know, fight.
Right.
You go to court, or you do a lot of things.
You
saying like, yeah.
You have already said to the court, long pending demands of Himachal. We have a raw material of water.
Yeah, absolutely.
We finished good is electricity. We are not getting the royalty. We are not getting
your access power supply.
So we are fighting in courts, in so many courts. We are fighting in Supreme Court. We have engaged topmost lawyer in this in our hydro electricity cases. We are trying hard.
Good. Good luck.
Now I will say to Chief Secretary said, Chief Secretary will interact with you and Secretaries will take.
Thank you.
Sir, can you hear me, sir? I'm Prabodh Saxena, Chief Secretary, sir.
I can hear you and I can see you and you sound great.
And sir, it has been my great privilege that I have interacted with you a number of times on telephone in the last 2 years, sir. Your guidance and your inspiration has moved us, sir. And today also, despite the fact that you are in hospital, you have been kind enough to address us, sir. Extremely grateful to you, sir. I just want to give you an update about the disaster issue which you mentioned, sir. So if you remember, we had some discussion with you and also with Mr. Kapila, who today happens to be in the audience. He is in Shimla, sir. Sir, then what happened?
I lost you.
You all lost.
I can't hear you. You probably muted yourself by mistake.
Meanwhile, Gokul sir wants to ask a question, sir.
Okay.
You take it. Our advisor to CM IT, sir.
Please. Please.
Hi, sir. Hi, Sam. Wish you a speedy
Yes.
recovery first.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, what steps should the state take to invite and to get more AI-driven industries to our state? What should be our roadmap?
What steps should state take for what?
For getting AI-driven industries to Himachal, what roadmap should we follow?
Well, it's a tough question, you know. The question, where do you want to use AI? It's about application. I won't worry about developing AI the way Western countries or Chinese are developing today. Okay, because we don't have enough databases. Let me give you an example. Hindi is the third largest language in the world. But the content in Hindi on internet is 0.1%. So unless and until you have Hindi content, AI cannot help us the way we think we can get help. I mean, Tamil literature, Gujarati literature, Bengali literature, it's just not there. Okay, so you are going to search, same thing that Western world is searching. Everything is going to be based on Western world. So we got to create our own database. We got to get Himachal data, books and songs and dance and culture and art and you name it. Then AI can help Himachal. Today you can go to ChatGPT and prepare your document. That you can do. So we should really focus more on applications. Okay. How can ChatGPT help us in Apple business? in aging population, in disaster management, in improving, horticulture, okay, in creating better food processing industry. That we can do. So I would start with that. Okay.
Chief Secretary, sir.
Sir, am I audible now, sir?
Yes, very much.
Sir, then, sir, you gave us the guidance and showed us the way for disaster issues, sir. So we negotiated, on your advice, we negotiated a much bigger project with AFD. Around, sir, I would say about $500 million, even more than that, sir. Wow. And included all that you have suggested. Now the issue was that we had competing demands from all sectors. We have limited window for the externally aided project. But the Chief Minister did not took even a second. We told him that this is as per your guidance, and he said, okay, rest of the projects can wait. Let us first have a disaster project, sir. I'm very glad to tell you, sir, that as per your direction, we have signed the project and it will get grounded. And I will also share with you, sir, the important details, sir. So whatever you have told us, sir, we have done it, and we will continue to seek your guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. If it is good for Himachal people, it is good for us.
Thank you.
What about Agriculture Secretary?
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session, and we are very sorry.
Vishali,
Sir,
tell Secretary Agriculture to tell our agriculture economy. Palara Sushi, elaborate it.
Sir,
Yeah, it's a big area.
Agriculture Secretary.
I think Paul sir has just gone out for a bit, sir. We could take any other question. Anybody in the house? Sir.
And we can continue this conversation later on. It doesn't have to end today.
Okay,
Yes,
sir. So can I ask my question?
Please.
Okay, hello sir, I'm a born Himachali, studied in Bishop Cotton for 12 years, and now I worked in US for like 15-16 years, and I've set up 2 companies, and always want to contribute back to Himachal, and it's so wonderful to hear CM sir, yourself, CS sir, and everyone who I've been interacting with. But like you said, execution is key, and in the US, like we are used to kind of making sure that we are very results oriented, right?
Yep.
I also feel that there are 2 problems. One is the philosophical mindset, like the Gandhian principles you talked about, that has been missing, and everyone's kind of driven by money, right? That's one aspect. So all our decisions are based on that, not based on what is the right thing to do, right? So that's one question. How do we change that? And the second question is, how do we create 100 more Sam Petrodas, or maybe 1,000 more, so that we can have like a lot of leadership. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. First one, mainly. See, the world today is focused on profit and power. All rich people have come together with the authoritarian mindset in politics, and they want to rule the world. In the process, inequality will increase. In the process, wealth will be concentrated in very few. Technology guys will